Caribbean Telegraph is here today, Sunday, right here at the intersection of Howard Cook Boulevard, Catherine Hall, leading into West Green there. We're here with Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon. This is a cleanup exercise, which, of course, from all angles, we can see that it's an intensive exercise that has been going on all day since minutes after 6 this morning, and it's now 3 p.m. And we are here to talk with Mayor Vernon to give us an update as to what is really taking place here today and why is this project on.
Following the hurricane,
Yes.
we launched Operation Restoration and Cleanup for St. James. And that project was launched in Katrina West Green area. As you know, that area was significantly flooded and had tons and tons of debris there that we had to clean. We have also extended our operation to other sections of the municipality with a key focus in the city of Montego Bay to ensure that we get to our business district and our overall urban center back up and running. What we're doing today is a subset of that operation. So today is the restoration and cleanup day for Montego Bay. And we are doing a bit of a work, I would say. We started in the Freeport area with several teams. We have several subsections of this project. So one subsection is from the Freeport area to the Catherine West Green intersection. From Catherine West Green intersection to the River Bay Road, Bevan Avenue intersection, and we continue in that breakout until we reach the airport. We have been here from 6 a.m. cleaning, doing desilting, raking up, pushing where necessary, removing the debris that was still in some sections. Uh, Notwithstanding the massive cleanup that we did following Hurricane, immediate aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, we still had in some sections debris here, debris there, and we are now tidying up to improve the cosmetics of our city as we move back to normal. The partners in this project include uh, Flow, Digicel, JPS from the corporate there and the corporate sector of our city. The Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industry had some representatives here this morning. They are participating as well. The Jamaica Hotel and Tours Association, they mobilized some of the hotels to participate in this exercise. And if you go to the other section, in that space. The Ministry of Health, the St. James Health Services, their team is along the Jamaica Boulevard area as well. The Jamaica Fire Brigade, they're helping us with washing. So after we have completed the desilting of the V drains and swept the curb and the sidewalk, we are doing the washing of the area. So later on today, we're going to brighten these sections with the usual road mark in yellow paint where we are supposed to go, and in the lay-by, we put in the white, and those are where the bus sheds are. We're removing the broken signs and the dilapidated bus sheds. We're taking them out completely. We appeal to the sign companies to restore their signs. I have seen several of them mobilizing their team to do sign restoration because this is all a part of the aesthetics of the space, but more importantly, to enhance safety. We don't want anybody walking and then a sign and a sign toppled over on them or toppled over on the roadway causing an accident. So there are several things that we have to do to get our space back to normal, and we had to put in that extra push. We call on the corporate uh, uh, partners and our ministry partners, the Jamaica Defense Force, the Jamaica Fire Brigade, as I mentioned before, and also our humanitarian group, Red Cross. They are doing the Brandon Hill area, going into the city center sometimes here. They're cleaning in and doing the research. We allocated $34 million right across the 70 divisions, cities, and the councillors are leading the respective projects in their divisions, their communities within the divisions. They are doing drain cleaning, debushing, and some general cleaning within the cities. And this is also a part of our trust to restore the communities. So whilst we focus on the city, we're also doing the communities. I must also say that the effort here is not a trade-off for other areas of focus. We still are doing care packages, helping persons to stabilize. We're still looking at how we are getting assistance from the different entities coming into Jamaica, wanting to help with repair of roofs and so forth. And of course, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is still out there doing the assessment because that information that they're gathering will inform the way forward for government in terms of the distribution of grants. So we are focusing on everything at once. They are happening simultaneously. So it's not a trade-off in effort, but there are areas that we focus on to get them back on track because we have to know where to prioritize so that other things can happen. To prioritize where cities or business can reopen so people can get back to work so they don't need care packages. So that is our formula, that is our method, and that is how we have been operating ever since the hurricane.
Mayor, tell me, how long will this program last? Is it just for today, or tell us if there's a duration period?
The restoration will last as long as we need it to last to bring about normalcy in our space. So once we identify areas where we need to refocus our energy to carry out specialized operations for cleaning, then we will do the dispatch accordingly. So we'll continue to clean until we can feel comfortable with our space. And you best believe that it will be cleaner than before. We had
Yes.
Mobile Step Up, which is striving towards environmental protection and urban preservation. And the efforts that we have put into much of what is happening now, they dovetail into the Mobile Step Up program. And Mobile Step Up program is one that we structured long before now. We have been running it since last year, August or somewhere thereabout. So it's running for more than a year. And we have what we call a roving team assigned to the Mobile Step Up program. And that roving team, they are the ones that go out and they maintain much of the verges that you see. Even the section right along the Sumpers Wall, popular people call it Sumpers Wall, and in the areas in front of the fire station, the top road, Queens Drive area, the Jimmy Cliff Boulevard, all the way to the airport. That's a team that does all the desilting, the debushing, and the maintenance of the area. So from time to time, you pass and see bags, 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 bags. That is the roving team at work. And they enter the town center. They enter the city center. They go to the Mega Bay Road area, go down Barnett Street, McCarthy Street, Jared Street. They weed up the grass around the light post and all of that. So they have been doing that for a year. Unfortunately, we have to deal with this. But this is a crisis that we have to learn from and we have to build back stronger from. And we have to bring our city to a cleaner state than it was before. So we are using this opportunity to clean up and clean up properly. What we need to do going forward though is look at how we maintain and manage waste because that is key to the continuity of what we have achieved up to this point.
Right. Mayor, I noticed that you are hands and gloves right now. You're wearing your heavy duty boot. Tell us, what are some of the exercises, the cleanup exercises that you have been personally involving since this morning leading into this afternoon?
Everything except the washing
Okay.
because I had to leave to attend the church service
Yes.
that is hosted by the Ministry of Tourism for the upcoming winter season.
Right.
So they launch it at church, a good way to start. So when I left earlier, the fire brigade came and they started washing. So that's the other part. So the desilting, the raking, just about anything you can think of about in the cleaning up process, I've been involved in.
And you're certainly not afraid to get your hands dirty.
No man, we grew up in this, you know.
Good.
We grew up working.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, my father used to come and knock on the door early in the morning and ask why we are still in bed. If we think it's a hospital, we need to get out. So and we used to have our boat. So we used to have to walk from Irwindale to Chelsea Irwindale
Yeah.
to carry out the boat
Uh-huh.
and return the boat in the evening. I had hello. I had some 28 boats.
Yeah.
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 28, I had to bring them out every morning and bring them up before I go to school. We used to this.
All right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a few minutes ago about the St. James Municipal Corporation financing or allocating $34 million towards this exercise. But I heard you earlier, this just this past week, a few days ago, talking about the St. James coffers of a particular program that is basically almost depleted, with some 85% of it. Tell us about that, and how will you be able to finance other programs or social programs going forward?
We have seen a significant dip in our revenue, and that is not surprising, being that we have several of our revenue centers compromised. And some of the first ones we got up and running immediately after the hurricane includes a car park and the regular fees that we collect from commercial activities. Now, we are behind because we have several areas with slow injection. Property taxes are slow, motor vehicle licenses, that slow, trade licenses are also slow. And I gather that at this point in time, just like we have experienced in COVID, yes, man, respect. Just like we have experienced in COVID, persons prioritize what they spend on when they are in a state of crisis.
Right.
So persons perhaps will not pay the property tax. They will buy food. We
Definitely.
have been running a generator, for example, for several days
And
weeks.
weeks.
It is costing.
Yes.
So the money that you would use to pay your trade license,
Yes.
you have used it to purchase fuel.
Mhm.
And the list goes on. So we suffer from these things because that's the base of government funding, taxation, fees, you name it. So strategy is to look at all the revenue centers that we can curtail leakages, one, and two, ramp up by bringing in new strategies to allow persons to come in and pay the fees. For example, persons doing sign had said prior that we are not averse to waiving fees to facilitate persons who want to come and re their signs, and those who have outstanding fees for their signs, they can come in and pay as well. So we definitely need to look at the outstanding, the collectibles, and set up some means and ways to work it out with persons who are indebted to the corporation to collect those. Apart from that, we anticipate that over the next 3 to 4 months, the revenue centers will stabilize operation, and we will start, getting back to a certain level. Say a decline in the decline of
Right.
that 85% that we mentioned.
Yes.
There are some self-financing centers like the Charles Garden Market, the craft market, you name it. We have them. Catching our stadium. But of course, those were adversely impacted. So the Charles Garden Market belongs to you. We are working out something with the vendors to see how they can utilize the district properly. And that also will come with some administrative costs.
That's until the roof is repaired.
Right, we're working on that.
Okay.
And we are seeing how best we can improve the market in the same breath. There are persons who are calling you. There are persons who have been calling you. Oh, we want to donate, we want to contribute, we want something to do. And we just need to tie those down because there are persons with intentions, but when they realize the cost or the effort needed to get certain things done, they shy away.
Right.
But we are still in that process of eking out partnerships and seeing how best we can work with these public-private partners to get some of these things up and running. Catching Stadium, it's the same. The the Montego Bay Sports Development Company is still interested in leasing the stadium, and we are still interested in leasing it to them. And we are now working out the final parts of that agreement so that we can move forward with that process. They will also provide great assistance in the improvement of the stadium. It was always going to be improved. The only good thing is that we have not done it before, or else everything would have been undone by the flood. So it is what it is where that is concerned. But we are putting contingencies in place to cushion the blow of the loss and damage to revenue centers. 85% is compared to last year, but we are going to ensure that we claw back that loss so that we can be in a better space next year financially. and continue to offer services because our services are critical to the city. And the municipal corporation cannot function effectively and efficiently. You will start to see signs of it across the city, and that
That
we
is
can't
true.
allow that to happen.
That's so you have a time frame within which or by which to expect to start seeing some, some
About
revenues
February,
coming in. Oh,
about February,
okay.
we expect to see a little jolt up
Yes.
in the December period,
Yes.
but by about February, the usual sources should start, you know, stabilizing themselves
Mhm.
until we can get back to some level of normalcy with our accounts.
So you can sort of cushion in the interim.
We try that, and
Yeah.
we are getting some assistance from central government with subvention. They have always provided subvention, but they are not providing anything outside of the usual subvention that they would have provided before now.
Mhm.
So it's good that they are living up to that commitment, but we also need to look outside of the subvention because the subvention is just a minuscule amount compared to what is needed to run the full operation of the municipal corporation.
Right.
The subvention will help with salaries, for example.
Mhm.
So we will retain our staff. But for other operation and for specialized operation, like I mentioned, the roving team,
Mhm.
those are funded directly from the coffers of the municipal corporation.
Right.
So things like those, if we continue on a downward trajectory, then we're going to have problems with maintenance right across. And we will see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of. You mentioned that paintings and is it the sidewalks or is it markings in the road?
The curb wall,
Curb wall. You said did you say this later this evening?
it will happen today.
It will happen today. And how long do you expect that
It will happen
exercise to
throughout the
last?
night.
Throughout the night.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
started early this morning, but this project will continue for several days.
Yes.
It's just that we're having a specialized operation today where we get the partners out to
Yeah.
participate, get their hands dirty,
Right.
and to be a part of the process.
Where will it start from and where will it end, roughly?
We will start with the curb wall painting within the vicinity of KFC along
Mhm.
Howard Boulevard,
Right.
all the way to the Freeport Police Station,
Oh, great. And would that be both sides?
both sides.
Okay, great.
And we once we can secure the funding to move forward, then you will start see us putting back our grids in place or signs in place, you name it.
Across the city we're
Right
talking
across
about?
the city. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We call it road furniture.
Road furniture.
Yeah.
Good. Mayor, you mentioned earlier about signs, etc., etc. You may also have noticed, like myself and others, that Hurricane Melissa tore down a lot of business signs, and some are still left precariously hanging from buildings, which pose a danger to the trafficking public. What can you say to us about that in terms of if there's any kind of enforcement or action that the St. James Municipal Corporation can take against these? You may not want to do that because everybody's crying financial hardship right now. Or what message would you like to send to them at this time?
Well, I said it now.
Yes.
So the first thing we did was appeal to them.
Yes.
Come and take down your signs, or we will take them down.
Yeah.
We have only removed some small ones. Two, we are not averse to discounting the cost associated with reconstruction. Three, if they don't abide by any of those, then we will have to take them out completely because our citizen safety is first.
Comes first.
So look across that section, there's a bus shed, and I appeal to the operators, well, not the operators, sorry, the
Sponsored company, I guess.
Sponsor companies that adopted these bus sheds. We asked them to remove them.
Right.
If you look at that one, as you said, it is
Yes.
precariously placed.
Right.
And that one is one of those precariously placed signs. We are going to take this one down. We're going to take down several others. But we also want them to pay their part.
Right.
We adopted a bus shed, and be responsible for it.
Right.
And fix it up, take it down. If you're no longer interested in it, remove it. And just express that lack of interest going forward to us. And just know what to do, but you can't continue to have these things. These things also speak to our state of restoration. Whilst we might have clean streets, garbage being collected along these sections, beautification happening, improvement in infrastructure, these signs are dilapidated, which will show that if something happened here, what happened?
Right.
So we need them to go as well.
How many? Do you have a count of how many deaths St. James recorded, if at all?
Officially five.
Five. Okay. Mayor, one other thing, the wall right across there, the Catherine Hall Entertainment Complex, which is home to Reggae Sumfest, world famous Reggae Sumfest. It has been demolished. A section of it has been demolished. And from our observation as layperson, we noticed that a lot of the blocks, the holes and the blocks, were not filled with concrete. But you may not want to talk to that. If you want, fine. But what can you tell us about that wall and if there is likely to be a repairing of it anytime soon?
Well, what we know is this is a very old wall,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps older than I am,
Okay.
but the repairs, that's a commitment of the Urban Development Corporation. They had said in my conversation with them over the weekend, actually, that they are doing their property cleanup, which includes the section behind Megamart, that's their property.
Right.
The, the park right here,
Yes.
we call it the Howard Cook Park.
Right.
Uh, they, they started with Harmony Beach Park, that's theirs as well.
Mm-hmm.
They have several assets
Mm-hmm.
right across this area, and they are cleaning up their assets, and where you have the destruction of anything within it, such as this wall, they are going to repair them, and they're working on it. So I expect to see restoration to this wall within the next 2 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course, if it is that structurally it needs to be improved, then that is something that we will have to look at as well.
My final topic that I want to talk to you on is about Ground Zero, as it was referred to in the immediate aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Catherine Hall, we're standing at the entrance here leading into Catherine Hall, West Green, and West Green Meadows. They were ground zero. A few weeks ago, we had a discussion about this. We had an interview with you about this, and you brought the community or the St. James population up to speed in terms of what was happening and what the St. James Municipal Corporation was doing to get things back together. What can you tell us roughly about 3, 4 weeks later in terms of what's going on with these communities right now?
We led a significant intervention in the community supported by the Prime Minister. We assigned ministers Morgan and Wheatley to provide some support to the St. James Municipal Corporation and the National Solid Waste Management Authority to get the job done. We got it done within that specified time, and up to that time, we removed over 2,000 truckloads of debris from the community. Of course, that includes the items that were disposed of by the residents, the bed, the appliances, furniture, you name it, as they were flooded.
Right.
And we continued the operation from there to ensure that we removed the mud, carried out public health sensitization and mitigation measures. We did some drain cleaning in sections. We sorted out the sewage problem that they were having. But we're now hearing that they still have some of these issues, but the operation is over. It's done. And the councillor and the member of parliament, they're working closely with the community to ensure that things that we would do from our normal operation, for example, or routine operation from solid waste, routine operation from National Water Commission, all the respective agencies, when that is done. So because the community got a shock, it needed an intervention to reduce the impacts of the shock. We did that, and now we're back to normal operation. The National Solid Waste Management Authority went into the committee about 2 weeks ago and removed approximately 60 truckloads again. And I went there earlier today and realized that waste is still coming out. What we have learned that there is significant sentimental attachment to the items that the persons are disposing of. They did not bring them out when we asked them to. We brought in 100 academy trainees from the military. They knocked on every door, called persons, asked them to bring out their waste. And some did not. Some said that they are not going to dispose of anything. And a few weeks later, That's the waste on the roadway. Gentleman called me from another parish and he asked me if we could help him to bring it out. This is long after the operation. Where were you during the operation? You weren't there. We also discovered, well, we did not discover that. We already knew that we had elderly persons there, and that is why we also brought in the Jamaica Defence Force to help with removing those stuff from their homes, which we did. We learned that many of the persons there were not the homeowners, they were not in Jamaica. Many of them are coming in now, and instead of removing the waste from your homes to a truck to the dump, they put it outside, right in the roadway that we cleaned up several weeks ago. So there are complexities to the full restoration of the ground zero, so to speak, area. And as a result, we have to continue our routine operation, albeit from a normal response as opposed to an intervention response. So that is what we're doing now. The Prime Minister visited recently, and the call was for a second round of cleanup. Well, as long as the budget is there to do that, then fine. We have no problems. We can mobilize resources to get the job done. But the municipal corporation at this point in time will not continue unless we have the resources to do so.
Great. Mayor, it leaves the Caribbean Telegraph to thank you for your time. Thank you for this interview, as always. And we wish you all the best
You're
for the
welcome, and
upcoming
thanks, and
season.
same to you. All
Thank
right.
you. Yes.
Yes.
All right.